I am here with Art Gutowski, current president of SHARE. Art, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited. The show, I think, is in about 60 days. Is that right?
That's about right, yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to talk to you to talk a little bit about SHARE Pittsburgh and what's going on. I know we're actually coming up at the end of your term as president, because SHARE every year in August it begins a new board term and a new year, and there's a lot of great changes y'all have announced this year that you and I talked about a couple of months ago, and I want to cover all those things today. Let's just start with your presidency and your term. Tell me some of the things that have excited you most or you're most proud of from your time in leadership.
Well, I think just overall, seeing the strategic initiatives that the previous president, Scott Fagan, brought into with the strategic plan, bringing those from kind of the conceptualization and the data investigation, the surveys and everything like that, and bringing it together and moving it into implementation phase and starting to see all of the hard work and planning that the team has done come to life in our strategic initiatives. That's probably the biggest thing. We've made a lot of progress, especially on our year-round education. With respect to our LMS, we've got that organized and built up. We've got several learning packages that we've made available as samples for people to try out. They're available to our individual members currently, and we actually are launching a new membership type this year called a Corporate Advantage membership, and those learning management packages will also be available to our corporate members who sign up for that. So that's exciting to see. It's all available through our shared knowledge platform. We're also focused on, as you know, you've been working with us on governance. We've been shoring up our governance to operate more effectively. And we're also just now starting our external website redesign, and we're going to be launching that hopefully by the end of the year as well.
It's a lot of big changes for the organization, including what we'll experience next year, some changes for the conference. But I don't want to dive into that yet, because I want to talk about Pittsburgh coming up in 2 months. As we said, I'm really excited for the show. I love SHARE. I think it's just such a vibrant show, right? There's so much education, but it's always great to see everyone. And what do you think is going to make SHARE Pittsburgh especially valuable for people this year?
Well, I think the education is a big piece of it, obviously. Clearly, you can get education from many different places, but the breadth and depth that we provide is, I think, unique to conferences and to other events in the industry. We actually have our agenda laid out this year. We have a new option for searching on sessions. They're called learning outcomes, and we have 6 of them available. And what it does is for certain types of sessions or certain topics that cross many different disciplines, it makes it easier to find things. So like if I want to build a program around modernizing data management and analytics, I can use that learning outcome, and it'll give me all of the sessions related to that and map them out for me, and I can build my curriculum around that. Or if I want to learn about managing workloads and capacity planning, I can pull up all of the sessions around that. And it may pull in things from storage, things from operating system, things from our performance track, things that you wouldn't necessarily, in the past, you would just kind of search by focus area or track to say, oh, I'm a ZOS systems programmer, or I'm a performance person. More and more, we're seeing people that cross different disciplines and get involved with different areas. So I think this is going to be really helpful for those folks. We have a couple of really big events planned. We have our New to Z reception on Sunday. We had the last one this past conference, and it was a huge success. I was overwhelmed with the number of people that showed up. We not only filled the room, there were people standing out in the hallway. So we've got a little bit bigger space this time. Hopefully we can accommodate everybody. And as part of that, we're also asking for folks that are experienced at the conference to come and join us as well, not just the New to Z folks, because we've got something special planned. We want to start mentoring at the conference. So we want to assign a volunteer or a longtime attendee who maybe doesn't volunteer but would consider volunteering to these New to Z folks and kind of help them figure their way through the conference and navigate the different sessions and the different activities that we have going on to help them get the most out of it, and to introduce people as well. Folks like me who have been coming since the early 90s, it's kind of amazing. We've met a lot of people. You don't really realize it until you take a step back from it, the network that we've built up. So I know for a newbie, when I came in 91, it was really hard for me to approach people. I didn't know where to start. I felt intimidated by some of the people just because they'd been doing systems programming and other mainframe work for so long that, how do I talk to these people even? But I've learned over the years that they're very down to earth. Everybody's very generous with their time and their knowledge. And it just kind of takes that introduction to get things started. So hopefully we can help people who are having that kind of difficulty get over that speed bump and get them going. So I'm excited about that. And then we also have our Women in IT event. We had a panel discussion last time that was amazing. Just the questions and answers and the mutual support and uplifting that was there. It's a really strong community, and we're looking to build on that more this time in Pittsburgh. So that'll be good to see. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I've been impressed over the years, the influx of new people, the New to Z community that come to share, because I think it's very valuable for them to start building the community. And this really is such a welcoming community. The amount of unabashed knowledge share that you get in these rooms is fantastic. So I think that's great. I'd love for you to touch on, for someone that's been going to share like yourself, tell me a little bit about the value of someone that's more experienced in the industry.
When I first started, it was really about the education in the classes, right? Just learning about the software and the hardware and being able to hear from the people who actually develop the platform. As I've gone on, I've also made a lot of customer contacts, peers who have done or are doing or will be doing the same kinds of projects or similar projects to what I'm doing, to be able to bounce ideas off of people, to be able to ask questions. The labs that we run have always been valuable to me because they give me hands-on experience, a chance to try out what I'm learning in the classroom. And by the way, that's something we're doing again this year. Last year, or last conference rather, we moved the labs out into the STE so that they don't conflict with any of the sessions. Makes it easier for us to hold more classroom sessions, but it also kind of gives a dedicated space to the labs where they can focus on the topic of the hour and get a little bit more time that way. So as I've gone on, those networking contacts have become really important to me. to be able to pick up the phone. I'm having a problem with something. I tried opening a ticket with the vendor. I'm not quite getting the response I need or expect or can work with. I'm not understanding something here, and to get in touch with somebody who actually works on it and can give me what the intent behind it was and how it really works, and get me started back on my path. So those kinds of things have been really helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the things that might seem to be overlooked with such a wealth of information happening in a classroom setting. Things like the ST, like where you can go and talk to the people who intimately understand the solutions and get to know them and build the relationships. I think that's really helpful. And all of the vendors have always been just so open to sharing as well. I know a lot of them come to present because they're like, let's make everyone a success here. So I think that's great. I think the exhibit hall at ST is something not to overlook at all. Like it's a meeting place, meet a lot of people, but also get a chance to go and see all the companies, and sometimes to hear about some new technologies coming in that we should keep in.
Oh yeah. We tend to time the summer conference. It was built around the announcement schedule, right? So we are about a month or two ahead of the annual or the biannual or semi-annual ZOS announcement, depending on what the release cycle was at the time or is now. And then spring was generally the hardware announcement, so we would have a conference close to that. So we were able to get some early material out there for customers who are considering going to the next release of the operating system or products, or to the next hardware platform or what have you. And yeah, the vendor community there is awesome. Let's not forget that vendors are also IBM Mainframe and ZOS and VM and users as well. So they not only bring some information about their products and that with their sessions and with the STE, but they also, some of the vendors will present on IBM technology, best way to use ISPF or ZOSMF or whatever the topic of the day is, so you get that kind of insight from somebody who's inside of another company that's using it, maybe in a way that other people aren't. So you get some new tidbits and insight that way as well.
So from a topics perspective, tell me a little bit about where you're seeing trends coming in that are shaping Mainframe right now.
Oh, AI is everywhere, right? So that's probably the number one thing we're seeing, and there's quite a few sessions this time around dedicated to AI, and again, they span the different tracks and focus areas that we have. So you'll see some that are in the core technologies area, you'll see some in security, you'll see some in the application development area. AI is pervasive in the Mainframe conversation, so we'll have a few sessions set for that. The other big thing that's taking up a lot of mind share, I think, these days is post-quantum cryptography, something that I think everybody should be thinking about. If they're not, they need to get on the bus, because we're already seeing the kind of attack, gather now, store, don't exploit, and then when the quantum technology becomes more powerful and more available, then get to cracking on it. So people can sit on the data for a year, 2 years, 5 years, and then start to exploit it. So you need to be prepared for that.
Last question, for someone that's on the fence about attending SHARE in August, tell me what you'd tell them to send them over.
Come and join us. Come see what it's all. If you've never been, come see what it's all about. If you haven't been in a while, come and see what it's all about. Things have evolved quite a bit over the last few years, and they're continuing to. We've got a lot of great sessions. We've got some great presenters, and I think it's going to be an exciting conference. I think we've got a great kickoff lined up with the New to Z and the Women in IT events that we have going. And I just think, either establishing or reconnecting with the network that you have and making those person-to-person contacts is so important. We all have been through virtual work since COVID, right? Everybody was working from home. And a lot of companies have done at least a partial return to office, if not a full return to office. But there's a lot that are still working fully remote. And I think one of the things you miss out on is that face-to-face contact. You can touch base with people over the phone, you can have a video call, and that's helpful, and that's all good and well, but ultimately to be able to stand in a room with somebody and have that kind of water cooler talk is something that you don't get as much anymore. So I think just getting here and being a part of it is going to be great. I can't wait to see everybody there myself. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of people I haven't seen in a while that I've heard are coming, so I'm looking forward to reconnecting with folks.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want to close this out by just reminding everyone that SHARE in Pittsburgh is coming up August 16th through 20th. I believe the room block is still open, which is my biggest helpful hint. Get in the block so you can be there in the midst of everything, and go ahead and get registered so that y'all can be there. And Art and I will see you in about 60 days.